Hello and welcome to the United Stand. Sunday Night Live is back. It's back with a bang. Pre-season's here. The games are started, and Sunday Night Live is back. Sorry, you can see I'm sweating here more than John Terry in a spelling test. It's really hot in the UK. We moan when it's not hot, and then we moan when it is. But here we go. I've got Zara and I've got Alex. United Stand, Sunday Night Live. You always get a number of guests on, and that's the way it's going to be from now. This show is called, I don't know why I've put up MUFC Transfer Latest Live. That I should be done because it's not that. It's Jose Mourinho's big sale as promised from the show this morning and yesterday with Alex. What we're talking about tonight, we will go into other things a bit later on, but instantly we are talking about Manchester United players who we think are on the chopping block. Who is on the chopping block? Because I tell you what, there's 10 European players, 10 Euros players to come back to go to that squad yesterday and potentially Pogba. That's 11. We've got a load of players who are over the age of 20 who I don't think are getting anywhere near the starting lineup, and we can't carry that many. And I think some United fans are saying Mata's going to stay, Blind's going to stay, Valencia's going to stay. I don't think that's a reality. I don't know what my guests are going to say, but I've listed 11 players here that I think are going to struggle to get on the bench, let alone the first team. I've got Juan Mata, Daley Blind, Marcus Rojo, Phil Jones, Darmian, Fellaini, Memphis, Herrera, Schneidlin, Schweinsteiger, Valencia, Young, Varela, Blackett, and that's off the top of my head. That's a whole team that are not going to get anywhere near the first team. Some of them will, but I don't think they all will. But we'll go. Zara, you've not been for a while. Ladies before gentlemen. Alex, you were on yesterday. Am I being overreacting there? I mean, well, I think we have got a squad of about 30-odd players, and we're looking to buy players as well. I can't get away from the fact that at least 5 of those players I was listed are going to go. Or maybe we'll get shocked by Rooney, I don't know.
The thing is, Mourinho's always been like a fan of like Rooney, so I think we might get a shock there with that, because the thing is with Rooney and stuff, he's always, he has like shone in the past, but maybe like he's out of form now and things like that. But after the Euros, he has got something to prove, and because of that, he's got something to prove. Mourinho will just say, right, well, prove yourself here in the squad and just do it now. And then when I think of like Rooney could be in the squad and stuff, and him alongside like players like Mkhitaryan and stuff like that, I think it would work with the right amount of training that's there, because Mourinho's he's in excess of players. Some players are going to have to go. It's just whatever plan Mourinho is going to face with it, because players like Mata, everyone's saying Mata will go, but I think that Mata would be a great squad player because of the passion that he has for United. And then when you consider other players like Blind, I'd say I really like Blind for United, but the other thing is you sort of can see he's the type of player that could be let go, because he's not shown as much United passion as what like Mata has. So depending on what tactics, I'd have to say that I think Rooney might shock us with Mourinho.
Yeah, I mean, I think Rooney's a long shot. Matt James in Devon says he's so hot, he's got 3 fans next to him. I have as well. Martin, Kev, and Jorty Devil. They're fanning me off as we get on. Bad joke, I know. But Alex Janusaj, apparently, it's the Sun again. If you're not from the UK, the Sun, I mean, they're not even like Real Madrid. They're not even on your shoe. They are rubbish, the Sun, and they talk absolute rubbish. They're not credible. But they've said that Janusaj has really impressed Mourinho this last couple of weeks, and he's going to be given a chance. I think Janusaj's had enough chances myself. I didn't even put him on that list, so that's another one. Am I wrong to say that we need to get rid of at least 5 what you consider first-team players from last year?
Yeah, I think that is inevitable. In terms of Januzaj, I did see, I don't remember whether it was under Moyes or in Van Gaal's first season. Actually, it would have been Van Gaal's first season, I think, whenever United played when Mourinho was at Chelsea, and he was saying about how he really rates Januzaj, etc. But like he came on yesterday, and you couldn't even really notice that he was playing. He didn't really do anything. He just hasn't really seemed to press on since the Moyes era. He was really good at that time, but then again, was it he was really good, or everyone around him was just so bad that it was making him look better than he was? In terms of sales, we've seen all the things that Duncan Castle, who has quite close links to Mourinho, says that your lovely Fellaini's staying, so I didn't think he'd be sold anyway, but he said that the people up for sale were Blind, Schweinsteiger, and I think we will see a lot of sales. I don't know if it'll be as many as 5, but I think at least 3 will go, and maybe those ones on the list. But I've said on the show before, I know he hasn't really lit things up. I'd be really upset to see Schweinsteiger go. We didn't really pay that much money for him. He's probably on a lot of wages though, but I think that kind of winning mentality we need around the club. I know we're bringing Zlatan in, who has that mentality, but apart from Zlatan, Carrick, and Rooney, we don't really have that many people that have been serial winners for a number of years. So I think that sort of experience is needed, and he's good to bring on, like similar to how Germany did in the Euros for like the last few minutes if you need to see a game out.
Yeah, we'll be talking about what your bench would be, what your starting 11 would be in a moment. I mean, Barclays Premiership there says mark at least 5 to 6 players will be sold. I've got a funny feeling they won't be, but the squad is just massive. It's absolutely massive. You know, the likes of Ashley Young, Valencia. I mean, where do they fit into the team? I just don't see where they fit in. You've got young lads like Fosu Mensah got to come in. Rashford's got to get game time. I agree with what Alex says about Schweinsteiger there. I mean, why sell? Why sell? I mean, Gregor McHugh says there, sorry guys, don't think it would be as many as 5. All last season we were playing the kids as the squad was small. It was mentioned every Sunday night. Yeah, but Mourinho's already said he won't have that many injuries. And as Alex says there, I mean, why Schweinsteiger would go and we'd keep Fellaini is beyond me. I'm going to throw you under a bus here, Zara, a bit, because there's probably loads of Fellaini fans there, but I can't I mean, I love Mourinho. In Mourinho we trust, but I don't know what he's found in Fellaini that he'd want to keep him, because I tell you what, he only needs to speak to 99.9% of the Manchester United support for the last 3 years, and we would tell him he's shit. There is nothing to him, whether it's that clip where he picks it up at right back and runs it out of play on the other side, or whether it's his elbows flying in, he's a red card waiting to happen. The only thing he's got is chest control, and that's it.
Yeah.
Sorry to say chest control, then go to a female. It wasn't very. There was no.
No, I know what you mean. Like, the thing is, maybe, have you ever thought about this, that no one actually wants Fellaini? So maybe Mourinho's actually trying to struggle with a deal across there, because maybe, you know, something might drastically happen where, you know how, like, when Sterling went from Liverpool to City, there was an amazing, I have to say, props to those Scousers for selling Sterling for 40 mil. Because maybe Mourinho's trying to see how much money we could get for Fellaini to put in the back pocket so it's there for, like, other transfers that Mourinho might have in mind. Because if that's the case, then fair play to Mourinho. Take as long as you want to try and get the best possible deal for that moped, because he needs to be gone. Maybe Mourinho probably will sell him. It's just the point of he's trying to think of he's probably trying to think of like the best way to sell him, because you sort of like at the moment he's getting these big signings in, and not that like we need the money, but he wants as much money as possible for the players so he can pre-plan everything along the way, because Mourinho's not going to do an LVG buy where he buys stuff, like buys like players and stuff, and then just ends up saying, oh well, you know what, we got this player but I don't really have much use for him and stuff like that, because Mourinho will want to have a pre-plan and he'll want to set it out to the point where we can all say, oh well, he can come into like a press conference and go, oh, this is why I bought this player, he's going to be in this position, this player's the backup to that position. Because with Fellaini, I mean, just in general, Mourinho's always said he doesn't like the players who can adapt to every single position. He likes a player who's a specialist in their position. Players like Mkhitaryan and stuff, although Mkhitaryan is quite versatile, but he is 100% success versatile. It's not like he'll give 50% in this position, 60% in another. He'll always give 100% in what position that in, and that's what Mourinho will notice. And just on a side note, sorry to throw this out the way, but this is going to be my last ever United Stand show. But thank you very much, Matt. I'll sorry, you threw me under a bus. Time to throw you under a bus too. So yeah, I'll pass it back to you about Fellaini now.
Well, that was a surprise, but being a professional, I will carry on. Johnny Coxey 2112 says Janusaj, Mensah, Schneiderlin, Adidas, and Fellaini all now following Pogba on Twitter. Adidas sponsor Pogba, so I wouldn't be thinking too much about that. I think Janusaj was his mate from before. Alex will clarify that, but I don't want Louis van Gaal. He ruined a lot of players. I don't want to talk Louis van Gaal, says Louise. Mark, did you see my comment on the goals reaction video? Aidan, I'll have a look at that afterwards. Zara, you need to be on here more often. You're amazing, says Adam G. Well, you know. And Max Mahendran, I'm no Fellaini fan, but he might be our plan B if we need height in the box. As a specialist on the bench, I suppose, if I was Manchester United manager, the first thing I would do is sell Fellaini and have a big press conference, because I tell you what, you get at least 4 years grace from the fans. That's my thought. But Alex, Mata, I don't think Mata's going anywhere. What's your thoughts? You can comment on Zara leaving as well if you like.
I take it you knew about it beforehand. I didn't know. So, oh, you didn't know either? Okay, well, I guess we'll talk about it. You should have maybe saved it for the end, but we'll talk about it when we're off air. But in terms of Mata, I saw a video today from some fan outside of Carrington at the end of training, and it was Mata and Herrera in the car, and Mata was saying, don't believe everything you read in the media and on social media, and that he's staying. So I think he would want to at least stay, but when Mourinho came into Chelsea in his second stint, he didn't sell it until Christmas, so he might hang around just see if he can get a slot and then to work his way in. The thing that worried me really was when we did that team yesterday is that he played Mkhitaryan as a number 10. I'm not saying Mkhitaryan can't play number 10 because he can play it, but he put Lingard on the right wing, so that shows that Lingard seems to be, I know it's only pre-season, but higher in his plan than Mata. I assumed we'd play Memphis on the left, Mata in the middle, and then Mkhitaryan on the right, but everyone just assumed he was coming in, which is it's really weird because you'd assume that Rooney is going to be starting at number 10, so I don't know why we played Mkhitaryan as a 10 yesterday, but I hope we keep Mata. If he's willing to be a squad player, I would maybe start him over Rooney, depending if Rooney can get his form back or not, which is really debatable. He was so hot and cold. To be fair, before his injury, just when he got back from his injury last season, towards the end of the season, he was starting to score a lot and everything, and then he got that injury, and then he came back and he was moved into midfield, so he obviously didn't score that much in there. If Rooney is at his best and Mata is at their best, I'd probably, going into this season, rather have Rooney in all honesty. But it's if Rooney can get back to his best, because obviously Mata is younger, so I think Mata would be the safer bet. But we've always talked on this show so many times that we think that there is some kind of clause or something in Rooney's contract that makes him be forced to play. But it'll be really interesting if he's crap the first 10 games to see if Jose drops him.
Yeah, hashtag keep Zara is apparently on Twitter at the moment, but there you go. With Mata, I think, I tweeted it out before, I think Mata, if he's happy to be a squad player, I think he will stay, because I think it's too obvious to sell him, and I think Mourinho, he doesn't have to sell him now. The one positive about Mata is he didn't go to the Euros, he's totally fresh, he could be crucial come Christmas, New Year, and why not wait till next summer? If Mourinho goes to Mata and says, you're not starting, you're going to be a squad player, and if opportunities come up, you can play, and Mata says yes, then keep him. He isn't going to start. He's not going to start. But I don't think he'll be sold. The next one I want to talk about is Memphis. We sort of kept it to the middle of the show on purpose because we know it will create a lot of debate. Galileo says, Mark, you're an ugly fucker. It's one of them nights. It's the heat. But Memphis yesterday. Well, I'll go to you, Zara, first. You can give your thoughts. You're still here.
Yeah, still, yeah. The thing is in Memphis is that he will improve. He's got that drive in him. Now that these big players like Zlatan and everyone's coming into the pan, he will think to himself, I've got number 7 and I don't want to lose that number 7, because he has always said that he definitely wants number 7 to relive all what the past legends have had. And because when he sees players like Zlatan and Mkhitaryan come into it, and then say if Pogba comes in, he's going to do everything he can to keep that number intact. He's going to work seriously hard, because he knows Mourinho is sort of excuse my language, but a no bullshit manager. As in, if he's not working hard enough, he'll be out or he'll just bench constantly. Probably even more so than LBJ. That's what will happen. With Memphis is that Memphis will improve, and we still need to have some hope there. Not entirely about people have said, oh, don't get far too ahead of yourself. I'm not, because I've always said that we'll know on the 10th of September when the first derbies happen what the season's going to be like. But with Memphis, I'd say we need to just keep our fingers crossed, because Memphis does show signs of the cheeky little flicks, the cheeky little skills that he's got, and he just needs to make that consistent, and then it'll work out for him.
Yeah, I know Alex loves Memphis, so I wait his thoughts with bated breath, but the one thing I said yesterday about Memphis is last season he lacked confidence. He's one of the players, I don't think we will sell him, but he's one of them players that I expect more like Herrera and Schneiderlin, because I felt they were suppressed by Van Gaal. I'm a bit worried. I don't think he'll be sold. I'm a bit worried that he might spend most of the season on the bench again, Alex, because yesterday was an opportunity for him to grasp it. He played 45 minutes. He was the same Memphis. Now, it's unfair to expect a totally different one, but still making the bad decisions with the first touch, still holding on to the ball too long, still making silly shots that he's never going to score from. It's definitely a confidence issue because we know from before PSV was very, very good, and people could say it's the Dutch league, but you don't lose that overnight. But I am concerned that he might just he won't be sold, but what I think could happen is he won't take that step up that he needs to, and he will end up here for another year, not being used, and then sold next summer.
It wasn't just for PSV because he was scoring in the World Cup. I think he's Holland's youngest ever goal scorer. He scored 2 in the World Cup against Spain and Chile, who aren't, I think it was Chile. It was either Chile or Australia, who aren't exactly poor teams. And he was doing really well for the national team, like a little bit after that. And then under Van Gaal, his confidence just like went to pieces, and he was crap. He got dropped by the national team when he was back in it. He was a sub. It's like he's just like freefalled, and I don't know whether it is the lifestyle and stuff that he's got too much too early and he thinks he's better than he is. He does show glimpses of absolute brilliance. But yesterday, yeah, he was terrible. But we could maybe put that down to the first game back. A lot of players were poor yesterday that I know are a lot better than that. But yeah, you'd think because normally he's thrived against the weaker opposition that he would have been better. But I think his main thing is, and René Mullenstein said that I think when he first joined, is that he needs to adapt to the Premier League, that he won't get as much time on the ball as he has in Holland. And like you said, he's always too slow with it. He holds on to it for too long and then ends up getting tackled or does a sloppy pass. But he obviously has potential, but I just sound like a broken record. He's not going to get in the team over Martial, and he's not going to, I don't see Jose moving him to the right or centrally. So I would keep him just in case Martial gets injured, but then you have to kind of say, would Ashley Young deserve to play on that left wing over Memphis if you're going by current form?
I'm trying to read some of the comments here because it's just swamped with Zara. But I suppose, Zara, are you happy to answer why you're going? Because there's lots of conspiracies on there.
Yeah, I just want to say that I've had an amazing time on this channel. The opportunities have been absolutely endless, and I can't thank everyone on the channel enough for it. It's just that recently, people don't know, but I'm at uni studying journalism and stuff, broadcast journalism. And with that, I've recently, I've got a lot of opportunities to do. Salford City want me to film with them. And then, thankfully enough, I've had an opportunity from Manchester United themselves who want me to do some match day reporting for them. So because of that, once I've got the schedule up and everything, it's going to be so difficult for me to do this alongside it. And that's why it's sad that I'm going to have to leave. But in this channel, I'd rather give 100% into it rather than just 50%. Because in everything I do, I always want to give 100% I can, and obviously in this channel, I just can't give 100% anymore. But all the fans have been so loving, and I can't thank them enough.
No worries. She's not been on that much anyway for the last month, so there won't be that much difference. She's not on maternity leave, no. This chat will be back to normal. Come on, let's get it back to normal because we need to talk about something football related. I was just looking on Twitter there actually, and there's something going on. Well, let's talk about Pogba for a minute. We may as well. Pogba is apparently flying into Turin on Tuesday to demand a move to Manchester United. I don't know when we're flying out to China, but I do suspect that this deal will be done at some point while we're on the China tour, because he won't be on that China tour anyway. But Alex, your thoughts on that?
I'm starting to think that this is like another Vidal that I was getting so excited. I can't remember if it was last summer or the summer before with Vidal, and just thinking we had reports every day, oh, he's going to be flying in to Turin to demand to move to Man United, but then there's the problem with his knees, that are they going to be a problem, is that the stumbling block in signing him and stuff, and it just seems to be one of these sagas that we always seem to get into with these, Ramos before Schneider, we get linked to every single bloody window. And I think it's the longer it goes on for, the less likely it is to happen. I'd like to think it would happen now, but it just seems to be dying down a bit. I don't see as many stories as I used. Marzio said that he agreed, but then apparently that was a fake. But I really, really do hope it does happen. It's just that the reports just seem to be kind of petering out of it. But maybe it's just because I didn't know. Maybe if that's true that he's flying into Turin, maybe he hasn't even had a chance to sit down with Juve properly to talk. So it might speed up now.
Yeah, there's a few people saying we're flying out on Wednesday morning. Some people are saying Tuesday. That would be about right. The interesting thing is that Juventus keep saying we've not made any offer. I think that is, and I tweeted this earlier as well, I just think that's basic transfer business, that they know they've got £100 million coming their way, and they are doing a lot of business at the moment. But if they announce that United are signing Pogba and they want Higuain, well, that's another 10-20 million on that price straight away, because Napoli know that they've got 100 million. So I think they're trying to get a lot of deals done before the Pogba deal gets done. I'm still convinced it's going to happen. The only danger is that the length of time it goes on. It does give. There's only two clubs who can get in: Barcelona or Real Madrid. I think Barcelona are out of the reckoning, and I personally think Real Madrid are as well. But yeah, I mean, Zara, you've not been on for a while. You won't be on again. But what's your thoughts on Pogba?
Right, with Pogba and stuff, like from what I've heard and stuff, negotiations have been made, but not a confirmed offer. I'd say that what's happened is, the rumours that I've heard is that Pogba knows that United want to offer him 100 mil. Real Madrid have heard wind of this, and apparently there's been issues at Real Madrid with Bale and Ronaldo over the wage, because apparently Pogba will get a really high wage at Real Madrid, but Bale and Ronaldo have said if that's the case, then we want a higher wage as well, but Madrid actually can't afford to up the wage on Bale and Ronaldo and also Pogba as well. So because of that, when that happens, I think Pogba really wanted to go to Real Madrid, is what I've heard, like from the rumours and stuff. And, why are you laughing?
Well, I'm reading the live comments, and there's just some of them are just making me laugh. And if you've got a sense of humour, don't take this personally. But Dylan182 says Demarcio has just confirmed that Zara is a backstabber. And also,
that's the one I was laughing at as well.
Yeah, people call me an ugly fucker, so who what?
Yeah, but I take these comments actually quite funny, because they actually have some creativity with what they come up with.
Oh no, I mean the live comments box on United Stand videos is the best place to be for United fans.
Can I just confirm that I am not pregnant? I don't know where the heck this has come from. Alex was just drinking a bottle of water. Literally, I am not pregnant. I'm only 20, and I don't plan to be pregnant at any point in my time recently. Just to clarify that one.
Well, Rage Review says I'm being bitter, and I should wish you all the best, but I will do that at the end of the show. A lot of people, there's a conspiracy theory starting as well that you're off to full-time Devils. I can categorically state that if anybody from the United Stand leaves to go to the full-time Devils, not only will I take a hit out on them, I will take a hit out on the whole of Fremantle, who own them, Man City, the whole lot. They won't exist anymore. So I'll do 50 years, but it'll be worth it. But so don't worry about that. That will never happen. Not that I've got a problem with them. Just that rivalries, nicking our people. We're not a feeder club. Let's put it that way. But let's talk a little bit more about somebody who did impress me, and obviously that won't be Zara. It will be Ander Herrera. Ander Herrera. All right, Zara, I'll come back to you. Let you talk about football. Ander Herrera. Did you even watch the game yesterday? I suppose that's the point. I don't think you did you?
I had to literally watch live commentary, because at the same time I was interviewing Blue Salford City players, so I couldn't actually watch it, and I didn't have enough 3G to actually watch the match, so it was just live commentary for me. Calvin Carrick's just I don't know whether I should say this or not. I'll cover that at the end. It's worth waiting for. Yes, well, I'll go to Alex then. You watched Ander Herrera yesterday. Some people were a bit, he didn't play very well. I thought he was brilliant yesterday. I thought he was better than he was all last season. I think some fans expect you run past 20 players twice, you bobble it up in the air for 50 times, and then you hit it in the top corner. Herrera just was a box-to-box midfielder yesterday. He was tackling, and then he was playing the passes. I thought he played well, and I think he's shown that he's going nowhere in my mind. I'd be gutted if we sold him.
Yeah, we talked about it on the show yesterday. I read somewhere that he got given man of the match. I thought he was really good. I thought only Mkhitaryan played better than him. Yeah, I wouldn't tell him. I don't know whether he will fit into the team. I think it does depend a lot on if we sign Pogba, because I'm just basing it off Mourinho's team at Chelsea. I would say that Herrera could be like our Fabregas type player, and then you'd have like the Schneiderlin as the Matic type. So I definitely wouldn't sell him, and I don't think he wants to go. We have no reason to sell him. I thought he played really, really well yesterday. He got around the park, up, down. He threw in a lot of tackles. He didn't misplace too many passes, so I don't see why people said he played bad. I would say if he did, like I said, I was disappointed in some of the players yesterday, but Herrera wasn't one of them. I thought he was one of our best players, and I don't think he will be sold.
No, I really do not. Interestingly enough, we've done Schweinsteiger. Schneiderlin, we can't really discuss him because he's not back yet. Herrera, Memphis. Fellaini, we've done him. Darmian's not back yet. Phil Jones needs to go. Rojo apparently is going. I don't think we even need to discuss that. I think he will go. Daley Blind is somebody I think we need to discuss, because I know we spoke about him a bit yesterday, Alex, but I think Zara, I can't remember ever getting your opinion on Blind, but again, he's a divider. I've always been quite consistent and said that if you want to win a title, you can't have Daley Blind at centre-back, because you won't win a title with him. You can get third, maybe you will get fourth or fifth, but he's not a title-winning player. However, I thought he was absolutely... You didn't watch the game, but he was absolutely brilliant at left-back yesterday. I think he's a better left-back than he is a centre-back, but obviously we've got Luke Shaw. What I want to happen, and Rhino's just said there, Blind is awesome. Blind must stay, says Gregor Mahue. Blind won't go, says Colin Archer. But I want him to stay as a utility player. I suppose the thing is, do you think he will? Would you have him as a utility player or a first-team player? Or do you think he would want to go if he was going to be a utility player?
Well, I think that Blind would be like a really good squad player, because he helped us so much last season. Like, he really did. I mean, constant, like, throughout injuries and everything, Blind, he was tired, but he always gave his absolute best. And he was there for us at our worst, really. And because of that, it'd be a very difficult thing to see him go, because people say, oh, he's not good enough, he's not this. But when he stepped up to the plate last season, he really did step up to the plate. He really did. He was like our knight in shining armour in the defence. Fair enough, he made a few mistakes and everything like that, but as a squad player, I'd say, yeah, keep him. It's sort of like Mata, like I said, keep Mata as a squad player because the passion's there. With Blind, I'd say he's very versatile, not the specialist that Mourinho will want, because Blind sort of can be put sort of anywhere. But with Blind, as a squad player for now, I'd say, yeah, keep him. But unless Mourinho brings some huge success, like, transfer in, then I'd say just always keep him, because he has helped us massively, as like some of the comments are saying.
Yeah. James Hogan says the Sun are reporting that Alex is next to leave. What's going on? And does Alex need a trim mark? I think he's going for the Griezmann look. But Blind, Alex, as I said yesterday, I think maybe he will be a first-team player, but I don't think he'll be happy to sit on the bench, which is where I would keep him. 30 games a season, filling in for Shaw, because Shaw, we spoke yesterday about Borthwick Jackson. I think that's a big step up for him. But what are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, if anyone watches the show for a long time, they know that I'm actually growing my hair out for the Falcao look, or the old Falcao look. So that's the reason why. No, I'm actually getting it cut this week. But I'd 100% keep him. I don't know whether he would necessarily want to leave to become a starter, because I don't know like what top club would take him as a starter. Like, there were those rumours, I think it was last season, that Barcelona wanted him as centre-back, and he probably would suit their style of play, to be fair, but I think he will stay at least one more season. I agree with you about the left-back comment, but he's not going to get in over Shaw. I don't really like him in midfield, but I know a lot of people do. And I think he does do a good job at centre-back. I know I'll probably get ruined for this, but someone else said it in the comment section, which what I said yesterday, is that I wouldn't even be averse to having Bay and Blind as our centre-backs next season, because I just think Smalling has mistaken him so often, and that he was protected a lot by Van Gaal's play style. But maybe I'm completely wrong, and under Jose, where we play a bit more risky, we'll find out. But I don't think he would be adverse to necessarily playing Blind at centre-back if yesterday was anything to judge from, because he played Blind as a centre-back, as his starting centre-back yesterday, when we had the likes of Phil Jones and Twanzebe, however you pronounce it, on the bench. So,
I nearly got excited then, but I always check stuff out before I say it, having been burnt before. Somebody was saying that Craig Norwood, who is very reliable, had tweeted out that there's a medical booked in on Wednesday for Manchester United, and didn't say who. He's not tweeted anything. It's a load of crap. Okay then, so let's assume that there is 5, not 10, 5 players. I can count. What 5 players do you think will? Well, you don't have to name 5, Zara. You can name 3 if you like. But who do you think is going to go? This is now on live record, and when you've got it wrong, we can say.
Okay, right. I see how it is. I'd say, well, Phil Jones. Well, the thing is, Phil Jones might be lucky. He might just be sent out on loan somewhere. But like, I think Phil Jones should go. Rojo should go, and I think, unfortunately, I think that Valencia might be gone as well. So. You want me to do 3 or 5?
No, whoever you think's going to go. You could have said
no. I think 3. They're like that. I think they're the. For me, I'd say I'm like 80% sure that they'll go.
Okay, I'll be doing mine as well. But people are saying Blackett must leave. Mr. Sniping 87, and Stephen Smith says no one wants Jones. I wouldn't even include. Blackett on that list. I think he's crap. I don't think he even deserves to be on the list. Just sell him. But Alex, what about you?
Yeah, I was going to say I don't even count Blackett in amongst all the other players anyway, because I read reports that I saw like Celtic fans say that he's the worst defender they've ever seen at their club. So if he's not even hacking it in the Scottish Premier League, he has absolutely no chance whatsoever in the Premier League. In terms of who I'd sell, I guess Rojo would have to be one of them. I used to be like a big fan of his, but he doesn't really fit into the team. Phil Jones, I read a report that Jose wanted Jones and Smalling to be a starting centre-back partnership for this season, which I hope isn't true, but that's just what I read today. But papers, I think, now are just starting to just say anything, and just if they get one thing right, they'll be like, oh yeah, see, I said it from the start. But Jones could be another one. He's English as well, so I reckon we might be able to get a decent amount of money for him. But then again, United never get good amounts of money for anyone. But yeah, aside from them, I don't know. I don't really think we really should sell much of our team. I like quite a lot of them, but it just depends if we're gonna like replace them. Like the likes of Valencia, young possibilities, seeing if they're getting on a bit. But it just depends who we replace them with, because however they play, you know what you're gonna get from them. They're not really like inconsistent. They'll always play a similar level. It's not like when Nani out of the 3 of them was by far the most talented, but he'll play a 1 out of 10 for like 5 games in a row and then a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, exclusive there. Alex likes some of the club players that play for the club he supports. But Rojo, for me, would definitely go. Jones would go, like Zara, but I just think he might survive for some reason. I just think he will. Fellaini, who I think will survive as well. So that's 3. I'd loan Lingard. I would loan Lingard out. I don't think he's going to offer us anything this year. People have said that he was tweeted out that I've said he needs to bulk up, and apparently he's had a personal trainer and he's bulked up. Well, I tell you what, he's still the same fairy being knocked off the ball like he was yesterday. It doesn't look like he's bulked up at all. So I'd loan him out, because I think if he bulks up, he could do quite well. I still think we need to get rid of more. I think you've got to get rid of Valencia or Young. I think they're the same player effectively, and I prefer Young, so I'd get rid of Valencia. And I think that would be pretty much it. But I still think there'd be a couple more. I think Schweinsteiger will go, and I don't want him to go. And I think I wouldn't be surprised to see Schneidlin go. I know that doesn't stick, but Leicester have just bought Kante, and Matic will go, and we know Mourinho likes him. James Hogan's got a question here, which sort of will fit it. What we're going to do now is, because we've whizzed through it tonight. We're normally running out of time. We've whizzed through it, so I'm going to ask you lot to ask us some questions. So, and I will throw it to people. But and I'm also going to give Zara the opportunity, being as she's leaving, to ask any questions she wants to me, because basically she's thrown me under the bus live on air anyway. So she may as well try and do it again, because I can deflect anything. But James Hogan said, Mark, tricky question. Would you turn down the opportunity that Zara has been offered to stay on the United stand? I think that's a fantastic question, James. And my answer would be this. No, I wouldn't. But I'll tell you what, there's a massive difference between me and Zara. I approached a certain university to get somebody like Zara to come on this channel, and she has been fantastic from day one to now. I didn't know she was going to leave. I'm not happy about it, but I'd be an idiot to be happy about it because she offers a lot. But I totally understand that at her age and where she's going to go, and hopefully she has learnt things from me and the others, and I, will watch the rest of her career with great anticipation and hope that when she's on Sky Sports presenting it, that she will remember where she started off. So I do wish her all the best. It was a bit of a shock. I wouldn't do it because this is important to me. Media isn't. I want the United stand to go massive, but I want it to be about fans. But you can't expect that from somebody else. And if I was her age, I would do exactly the same thing. So I do wish her all the best. And as people will know who watch this, I am only taking the piss, which is what I do a lot of the time. Alex, been on an all night. Well, here we go then, Alex. Clint Eastwood apparently tweeted out that the definition of a man can be easily defined by whether you're playing Pokemon Go or not. Tell everybody how Pokemon Go is going for you at the moment, because I can safely say I'm not playing it.
Well, Antoine Griezmann's playing it, so there you go. Is he not a man? But no, yeah, me, Joey, Draughty Devil play it. Zara plays it.
Yeah, look, see on the screen now.
but the fucking servers have been down all day, so I've been raging. I wanted to go into Birmingham City Centre and play it like I did last night, but clearly not because the servers have been messing up.
The funny thing is, I didn't know what it was last Wednesday, and I was walking through the square in Birmingham just getting my lunch with somebody I work with, and there was a load of people with cameras like that, and I thought they recognised me from the United stand because they were all smiling, but I couldn't understand why they were all pointing at my groin, although that does happen quite a lot. But I realised it was Pokemon Go, and I got back in the box and shut up. But Zara, I'm waiting to get some questions here. Anything you want to say at the moment?
I don't want to throw you under a bus more. The only reason I didn't tell you before we went live, because I thought usually before you go live on a Sunday, you have like all the topics in your head. So I thought I'll just say it on the show because then you'll just be in your bloody United stand flow. So I won't interrupt it.
What I quite liked is the chat we had before we came on air, and I was saying, are you still committed to the United stand because you haven't been on for a while? That was the best bit. But
I just didn't want to throw you off because I know you put a lot into the channel and I just didn't want to ruin the show for you.
No, it's all right. I'm going to go to another controversy now. A lot of people are wishing you all the best now. You see how I bit my lip and gave you my best, and now everyone is following suit. But no, they genuinely are. What they do want you to do is a dab at the end. Because I won't ever get to do mine because Fellaini won't be sold. But there's a comment here, and I debate whether to do it. I will do it because I'm in that sort of mood now, and we can blame Zara. But yesterday on the watch along, it was fantastic. We had over 2,000 people watching. It was brilliant. If you haven't seen my celebration to Pereira, I did go over the top, but that's 2 years of pent up frustration, and it's a shame Alex wasn't on with me because we would have probably been celebrating for ages. However, we were talking towards the end, and people were asking about, I may as well say the name, Full-Time Devils, why we don't do stuff with them, and I said we would do stuff with them, they won't do it with us. Apparently somebody took it on themselves to go on one of their videos and say, why don't you do a collaboration with the United Stand? They've replied, and Calvin Carrick has put it here, he said, they basically said, we invited them to contribute to the review show on a Monday and they declined. So they're basically trying to throw it back to us. What I will say honestly is we've got no problem with them. They did approach us. They do some transfer show on a Monday where one of their guests speaks for 4 minutes and then they get little YouTube channels to do a 10-second clip at the end. If they think that that's what the United Stand is, a little bit at the end, then they will get declined. If they want to go and have an open debate with anybody on our channel, which is what everybody wants, then we will do it. So we've not declined them. They just won't do what everybody wants, which is actually have a proper debate with the second biggest United channel, the fan channel. And I would openly do it. I think Alex would do it. Zara probably would have done it. There is no malice. There is no beef. There's only Nando's. But don't believe that we've declined them. What we declined was being a little bit on the back. And what they wanted to do for us to be that little bit on the back, they wanted us to tweet out and promote their videos. That's not what we're here to do. On a little simple level, we'll have a chat with them. But we've not declined them. They won't work with us. And that's the truth. And I have got no problem with them. It was a long, long time ago. And we move on. So if we don't...
Just like add to that as well, the thing is with like other channels like Full-Time Devils and everyone, we're all in it for the same thing, and that's because we all love Manchester United. So how on earth can there be like any beef in there whatsoever when we all want the same thing? We all want Manchester United to do well. So just don't like think there's any malice in there at all with it, because like the thing is, if we all, were in like the same place, all got on, we wouldn't be the United stand, we wouldn't be full-time Devils. We'd literally all be combined together and be a huge, massive channel. But that's just not the way it is. But we all still love United, and that's what matters.
Save the malice for that twat Mo from Arsenal Fan TV that just spends his entire video, every single Arsenal video, obsessing over Man United and Chelsea.
Exactly. And you know what? I think what we do is fantastic, and everybody involved in it is great. I mean, Mr. Spring's saying there, Howson versus Mark. I'm sure you'd get 5,000 people watching it. On the other hand, I'd like to see Makola v Alex. I think it'd be brilliant. And in the sense of V, it's not like we're falling out. It's like, give a topic that we both disagree on. Like, I think Howson says Varella's going to be the next Gary Neville. I don't think he is. That would be an interesting debate. It's not about hate or whatever like that. Like Zara says, it's United fans. And I think people try and create a beef. We are a 100% independent channel. We are run by you, the fans. If you don't watch us, we don't exist. They are run by a media company doing their thing. We're very different. We were talking about this before we went on air, me and Zara. We were saying, for everything we do, there are channels out there that copy what both channels do, but for everything we do, them and us, we never cross. We don't cross. For all the content, we do not cross. They respect what we do. We respect what they do. I'd love us to do some of those shows that people mention. I know for a fact it will never happen because they've got contracts. They're linked in with like Blue Moon Rising, Football Republic, and it's a company, and they've got contracts, and they won't do stuff with us. But it's definitely nothing to do with us. But that was a long answer to a question. Apparently I've been called a dickhead by Stephen Howson. I don't believe that. I don't believe it in the live comments. We won't do that. Zara, do a twerk. No, we're not having any of that. Why isn't anyone asking any bloody football questions?
Why don't you do it? Why don't you twerk?
No, not until we sell Fellaini.
Okay.
Has anybody? They're not really asking any questions now.
I have a question. Who do you think will be United's top 3 goal scorers next season, and how many do you reckon they'll get?
That's a good question for Zara.
I think Rashford.
In
Martial,
all competitions. In all competitions.
I still think, right, you're probably going to think, but what was last time? No, I think Mkhitaryan, Rashford and Martial, purely because I think Zlatan will be sort of a leader to Rashford, sort of take on his experience and pass it on to Rashford. I have no clue how many goals. I can't answer that because this is only like pre-season now. Like, you can't really put like a number on it at pre-season. Once the first few games go on, like I said, on like the 10th of September, people will know what type of season we're going for. But with that, yeah, I definitely agree. Rashford, Martial, and Mkhitaryan, because Mkhitaryan's attack as well. He's a really good player for that, and he'll know what position to get into to get the best opportunities. Mkhitaryan will probably get the most assists as well out of all of them, I think. I'd probably say he'd equalise Martial in assists as well. What about you, Alex?
A lot was saying section, and I agree with them that I think it'll be Zlatan first, Martial second. Or actually, I'm changing it. Martial first, Zlatan second, Mkhitaryan third. I think Martial got 17 in all comps last season, isn't he? So we're hoping he's going to kick on, and as long as he doesn't get injured, then I think he should hit over 20. I think as long as Zlatan hits like 20 in all competitions, I'd be happy. I know people are expecting him to be like the same sort of impact that RVP had and like get it to close to the 30s, but I don't think he's going to have that sort of impact. But he's still he offers a lot to the team, and he does assist a lot, especially in his later career. He started to assist more, and I think he'll know his job. And I think the main attacking outlets will come from both those sides of Martial and Mkhitaryan. But Rooney could be a dark horse, and Rashford I would put higher if Rashford was our main striker. But I just think Rashford's going to come off the bench. But if something happens, hopefully it doesn't. But if Zlatan has a slump in form or something, and Rashford was to start a lot of games, I think Rashford would probably be our top scorer.
Graham Glass says, do not get Pogba on your back of your shirt, Alex. And I would say Zlatan's going to score more than 20 goals. I'm amazed that people, when you look back through his career, his statistics is 1 goal every other game. So it's not going to change at United. If he plays 40 games, he'll get 20 goals. Good question here from MDV Gaming HD. Question for each of you. What are the expectations for United this season in each competition? I mean, we don't... It's a difficult question, that is, Zora, but I suppose if we narrowed it down to domestically, because I think the Europa League, for me, you look at the Europa League, if you do well in that in the latter half, every team from England who's been in it in the latter half of the season, it affects their league form. We can't afford that. So league and cup expectations this year, what do you think is realistic? What do you think we should expect?
I don't want to be like too optimistic because I feel like we're all in this like Mourinho honeymoon phase. But I'd say like cup wise, but I don't. I think the cup would like take a step back to the league this year because I know you can just sort of tell Europa, Mourinho's not going to be entertained by it because he just completely adores the Champions League and he wants to get that. I'd say a top four definite. It's just how well the other teams are going to fare out as to which top four position we'll get because everyone's going to up the game. I mean, you've got Pep at City, you've got Klopp who will probably be raging at the fact. I know like Liverpool will, it's Liverpool, but but like the thing is, you've got like Klopp, you've got Pep, you've got Mourinho. Arsene Wenger, I don't count him as anything, but like what?
Conte as well at Chelsea.
Yeah, Conte as well. I mean, this is the thing. Like, you've got like so many amazing managers that it's going to be one of those seasons again where, like, for instance, last season Leicester won and everyone was like, "What the heck?" This season it's anyone's game. Last season just proved that if you take your eye off the ball, anyone can take the opportunity and anyone can win it. So as far as I'm concerned, like I've said all the time, the team needs to give 100% because the opportunity is there now. There's no excuse that LVG is blocking them. They've got one of the best managers in the world, Mourinho. So as far as I'm concerned, top four should be a definite, but it's just which top four, which position in top four they want to go for.
Yeah, I think it's really unfair to expect the league because we've not won the league for 3 years. We finished fifth. We shouldn't expect the league. He will win it in the first 2 years he's here. That's what he does everywhere. However, I'm not expecting it, but I think we will win it. Over to you, Alex.
Yeah, I think the excuse of us not winning the league, will just be because, we have a new manager, transition phase, yada, yada, yada. But if you were to look at it realistically, I know rival fans will disagree with it, but in my opinion, the top three favourites for the league would be United, City and Chelsea. I know Spurs and Arsenal fans will be like, what about us? But no, it has nothing to do with them. But City are obviously going to be in the transition phase and they're bringing a lot of new players in, same with United. And I think at the moment, purely because they don't have Europe, Chelsea would be the favourites for the league. But as long as we get as long as we're actually in the title challenge up until the last few weeks, I'd have counted this season as a success. I think we might win the League Cup or the FA Cup. I'm not sure about the Europa League. I mean, if we bring in the likes of Pogba, then we easily have the team to win the Europa League, easily. But it just depends how seriously Mourinho takes it. I think he might just play our youth in it just to keep the main players fresh. But if you look at the teams we'll be facing in that Europa League group stage and he plays the likes of Rashford as our main striker and then say Rashford, Memphis and Herrera, players like that, I'd still feel really confident about us getting through the groups, and then once we get to the knockout stages we might bring our main team in. So it's going to be exciting either way. Jose in his first season after Chelsea had been crap before and he came back, he was in the title race up until the very end, and then they won it the season after. So I think it'll be a good season.
He's gone. Oh yeah, you finished. Okay, right. I think we're more or less drawing towards the end, and it would be unfair to not go to Zara to say what she wants to say. I don't know whether she's even got a question that she wants to ask, but I'm just having a look if there's anything on there. A lot of people saying bang on Alex. Question mark. Janusaj on loan or sold or swap with Lozano. We won't be swapping him with Lozano because Janusaj's not going to fancy the back half of Mexico that much. But I think Janusaj should go. There's loads of questions on here. We are running out of time, but as you know, we are live at 8:30 virtually every night at the moment, definitely every weekday night. So we will be back at 8:30 tomorrow. And the back end of the show is always questions from you. Somebody keeps saying Craig Norwood was on the radio. There's nothing on Twitter, so I'm not going to go and tell over 1,000 people that we've got a medical booked in on Wednesday and it could be Pogba, because that would be grossly unfair. Mark, you should dab if Pereira scores 5 or more league goals. I'll happily do that. Who in the United stand is the best at football? There's no question about that. It's Sarah, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, that's definitely me. I mean, this long hair, what I do is apply it and I just flick my hair so I can do keep-ups with it. That's my secret talent, party trick.
Theatre One keeps saying, and he's been saying it a lot in the comments section here. He's got a screenshot of Stephen Howson recently calling me a dickhead. If he has done that, then that's them, isn't it? That's their world. Why have they got the beef with us? I don't know. But if that's true, or if it's just winding me up, I don't know. But I'm not going to react to it because, as I said before, we've said our bit on that. But Zara, over to you.
Are we like finishing the show shortly?
Yeah, unless you've got any questions.
I've got no question for you, but I just want to like say again, thank you very much for having me on this channel, because like I chose this channel because I thought it's filled with so many nice people. Like Alex is so lovely too, and like everyone is like Kevin, Paul, and everyone just such like a lovely bunch. It's like such a nice little family, and I'm just so happy to like to like have been a part of it, and especially like meeting those fans and stuff at the ground. Like you can't ask for better fans for a channel. Honestly, you can't. They're so passionate about United. It's like probably the best thing that I've probably ever got involved with.
Good. Well, thanks for everything, as I've already said, and I'm sure you will be on again at some point. But if not, try and get us some access to United and things like that would be great. But not for me, just for the viewers. But Alex, anything you want to finish off with?
Just good luck to Zara with everything, and thanks for everything she's done to help the channel, like with the hotel football thing, the live match reactions that we did during the it was the Euros, wasn't it, where you were going from your studio to Zara, or was that the FA Cup, whatever it was. That was like brilliant, and just thank you for everything she's done for the channel. Yeah,
it's been brilliant, and the live comments has been brilliant tonight. Really, really have enjoyed it, and people are still going on about dabs. But I won't be practicing them because I don't think Fellaini will be sold. I mean, Zara, are you going to dab for everybody? They want you to do it.
See, I've never dabbed before. What is it like that? Like, is that a dab? Like, Alex, you will know it. Oh, it is a dab, yeah. So there you go, just dab for you all. Yeah.
There you go. Everyone's got their dab. If you're new to the United Stand, it's been an interesting evening. I would suggest watching it back and watching the jaw drop when she said she was going. But that's why I love doing the United Stand. We don't hide behind pre-records very often. Most of what we do is live. Sometimes we get it wrong, but that's the beauty of it. And as I will keep saying, the live comment section, I could sit watching that all day. I think it's absolutely superb, and that's you lot. It's not us. As I said, we will be back at 8:30 live tomorrow and every night this week, and hopefully we will have some good news around Paul Pogba signing. But it will always be interesting. Theatre One, please do DM me your screenshot. I'd be interested to have a look at that. And also, obviously, we've got the watch along on Friday for the Dortmund game, which I don't know what the kickoff is for that. Alex, do you know?
I think, but don't quote me on it, it's 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and then the City game's at 11:30. I know 100% the City game's at 11:30. I think the Dortmund one is 12.
Owen Nicole just said, what's happened to Paddy McNair? It's a very good point. I mean, we don't even mention him now. I think he's got to go. I mean, I just can't see where his chance is going to go. I think it's sad that Van Gaal basically destroyed his confidence, and I think he's on the way out, actually. But really enjoyed the show tonight. I really have enjoyed it. I love doing these shows. I love the live comments, and obviously the guests. Sunday Night Live is back now, which we will always try and have at least 2 guests. There are people waiting in the wings. A lot of you have emailed me. The sad thing about Zara going really is that it's so hard to get female representation in football, and not in an object sense, in the sense that she actually knows what she's on about and supports the club, and has been really good. And we've always wanted that, and it took 18 months to get somebody, but at least we got 8 months out of it. If there are any females out there who've been inspired by what Zara's done, get in contact with us, markgoldbridge@gmail.com.
Do it for the girls. Do it for the. It's so difficult nowadays to find other girls who are football fans who just like come and join the United Stand.
And there's loads of you on there. There's people like Lynn, Louise. There's loads of you on there who comment. There's loads of women who love football, and Hayley B won't come on. She won't come on. We've asked her a few times. She's in that full-time Devils camp, but she won't come on. But she's welcome to come on. But anybody, if you are interested, it's great. And there are so many women who are interested in football, so do get involved. But thanks everybody. Really enjoyed tonight. Back tomorrow at 8:30. Obviously, we will react to everything that happens throughout the week. And the fantasy football should start this week, Alex. It should start. I've heard it's the weekend of 18th of July, the week 18th of July.
I think they're just like leaving it as a surprise or something. I haven't seen any updates. I know they've completely redone the interface and everything, and they said it is in July. So we're running low on days in July. But yeah, we're going to, like last season. Well, if you want to explain if we're going to do another league again.
Yeah, we will be doing another league. We did one last year, and we'll have a load of prizes and everything to give away. And also, we're going to do a weekly show about it because I've played fantasy football for years. I'm pretty good at it, and we're going to do a weekly video about it, so that'd be good. But I'm rambling. It's been a great show. I'm going to go. Alex has said goodbye. I'm going to say goodbye, and leave Zara to say goodbye. Join me tomorrow at 8:30. The United Stand stands alone. It will stand with or without any of us, and that's the main thing. And it's all about you lot. So let's go and let's be with it. Zara, over to you.
So thank you very much for everyone once again, and always subscribe and like and comment on the United Stand because it's only going to get bigger and better over time. You'll always hear any single transfer talk, anything like that, first on the United Stand. It's like the best following for any United fan.
And that's it. Thanks everybody. Enjoy the rest of your evening. See you tomorrow.